For me, I feel like it's always been just a part of who I am, fitness and taking care of. I wouldn't even say health because as a kid you just eat a bunch of junk food, but staying active, you know.
All right, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Heavy Lifters Pod. My name is Marquise. I'm a marketing analyst over at Train Fitness, and I'm joined here today with Eric Colonna, good friend of mine, but I'll let you introduce yourself. Eric, welcome to the show.
What's up, guys? Glad to be here. Excited. It's only episode 2, so hopefully I could bring lots of value. I know it's just the start of the podcast. Yeah, awesome talking with you, Marquise. Excited to be with you on just episode 2 here. I met Marquise back in my first year of Queens football, and I've never felt a stronger grip strength when somebody was trying to block me. So Marquise definitely knows a lot about working out and everything like that.
Thanks, Eric. You're hilarious. But yeah, no, I guess just to get things started, I'm sure the viewers want to know who you are, where you're from, and what you're currently doing. Care to share?
Yeah, of course. So I'm born, raised in Mississauga. I went to high school, which Marquise doesn't like very much. That's St. Marcellinus. But after that, I just moved out to Queen's University, and I've been playing football for about 14 years now. Started in 2009, and throughout my journey with football, I've learned a lot about fitness through different trainers I've had, whether if they've played professionally or have studied training through school. I'm always just trying to soak up as much knowledge as I can about training my body to perform the best on the field, and then also in terms of nutrition, recovery, and just always trying to keep learning to keep improving as in terms of fitness. So right now, I just finished my 4th season of playing at Queen's University for Queen's football, and I'm looking to play in the CFL coming up. Got an invite to the combine, so I'm just training for that right now. And if that doesn't work out, then I'll play again at Queens before hopefully entering the league. But that's the plan. Like I said, been playing football for a really long time. I also did track and field in high school, so I've picked up a lot of different things over the years from my variety of trainers and coaches, and I've combined that knowledge into my business named Pick Six Athletics, which you can find on any big social media, Instagram, YouTube. Those are my main ones, and it's really just about helping develop younger athletes. Started it during the COVID year when there was no football season, so I figured that younger athletes with no season would still need an opportunity to develop as at their sport and physically with the lack of training going on that year. So I created Pick Six Athletics to help share my knowledge on both football and fitness. And yeah, that's pretty much a summary of where I come from, who I am. I study commerce at Queen's University, which I just actually finished all my courses, so graduated from in December. And now I'm just preparing for the combine, working on my football skills, and also Pick Six Athletics.
A man of many talents, ladies and gentlemen. That's I guess a lot of congratulations are due. Well, first and foremost, congrats on graduating, especially from a program like Queen's Commerce. That's no small feat. But congratulations on the combine invite, and I see the business is going well. So that is a lot of great feats on your end, and glad to have you on the show. So where to start, Eric? Where to start? Okay, so I know you mentioned the combine. I know that's top of mind, so we're probably going to start there. How's the process been for you? For those that don't know, the CFL Combine, the Canadian Football League up here in Canada, is our version of the throwing around the pigskin, and Eric's been luckily enough to be invited to the combine. So, explain what's going through your head and how that process has been.
So the process has been pretty amazing. Actually, during the year, I broke my hand in week 2, so I had to miss a few games. I actually got surgery mid-season and had to recover. And then I played pretty much the whole year with a cast and a club on, which it was a challenge. So I wasn't sure based on how the season went personally, if I get that invite or not. But thankfully, I was able to, and just preparing for it has been a really fun journey. We have some great trainers here. I'm training in town at Queen's University through our strength and conditioning with Colin McCausland. He's a head guy with Coach Ev, Coach Nick, a couple others, and then my DB and special teams coach, Coach Ben, has been very impactful in the process in terms of helping with technique on all the drills and developing as a defensive back. So it's been pretty fun. The main focus right now is just getting faster, more explosive, learning all the techniques because all of those drills are very technical, and you could take two athletes who score completely different based on what they know about the drills, how many times they repped it, and if they're able to apply the technique when everybody's watching on that combine day. So it's been a pretty fun process. It's a bit different than normal training because we're not doing all the hard cardio that the rest of my team is currently doing. But the small group of us training, we're just working on that speed, that explosiveness, and through school, we're tracking it on that Team Builder app, making sure we're hitting all of our reps, all of our speeds that we're supposed to for the exercises, and just keep improving until that combine day.
Nice. And yeah, that cardio, you Colin,
Morning surf.
I don't miss that.
Yeah.
I don't miss that, but that's great. I'm glad to hear that you and the boys are working well. And yeah, I know you mentioned it's a different type of training, right? It's the training is very particular and very detail oriented. And how do you find that you're getting better, right? Like, is there a specific way that you're being taught? Is there a specific method that you use to make sure that you're getting better at these drills day over day, week by week?
So as soon as I found out I was getting invited to the combine, I started a Google Sheets just for notes, and I watched like as many YouTube videos as possible, put all my notes in, took screenshots of the top performers at like each part of the drill, whether it's a vertical at the start, mid jump, what it should look like at the bottom. And then throughout my training, we do a lot of filming if it's on the phone or if coach brings an iPad so we can see our techniques and just constantly compare to what a perfect rep or near perfect rep looks like compared to what my rep just looked like. And then just through a lot of reps, working on that muscle memory, just trying to get it, inch by inch, 1% better each time to get to that perfect rep. So in terms of what doesn't have a number on it, it would be film and coaching points are probably the biggest thing in measuring my improvement. And then in terms of what does have a number, just timing drills or seeing how many reps we get on bench. It's a lot easier to track in terms of having that quantitative data just to see over time how we progress, make sure the right things are happening. But I think the biggest thing is really just filming it, getting that feedback, logging the workouts that you did to make sure that if you have a goal of increasing volume, you're doing that. If you just have to memorize what you did on a workout, a couple weeks ago, it's easy to have there in the app we use. For example, what we're about to do over the next few weeks is some bench press rep outs, and we're going to do we're going to start at a lower weight just to work on the conditioning with the chest, triceps, all the surrounding muscles, and then every week get a bit higher to get to 225. So there's a lot of things in place to measure it and measure our progress. The biggest ones would be the film, having the actual numbers, and then the app we use just to track all that data, moving through the workouts to make sure we're progressing the right way.
Nice. Well, all the best to you. I know it's a long and grueling process, but the time's almost here, and I know you'll perform well. And I know from the way the technical
Yeah,
jargon you're
you've been
spitting out
doing
here,
the three
you
cone
you
drill,
know,
especially, man. So much technique in that.
yeah, I know it's a lot. Running in a T is never fun, but
Just want to
you
get out
know.
there and hit someone.
I know, I miss it. I miss it a lot. But the way that you're talking, it sounds like you've had a long relationship with your health and your fitness. Um, and I guess my next question for you is how did it all kind of start from you from a young age? Like, was there a major influence that got you started in wanting to, participate in the gym, or whether that was running, whether that was sport? How did it all start for you?
Hmm. So for me, I feel like it's always been just a part of who I am, fitness and taking care of. I wouldn't even say health because as a kid you just eat a bunch of junk food, but staying active. If I was in grade, I played a couple sports like soccer back when I was really young, only for a year or two. I played baseball for 5 years in elementary school, but football was the only one that I've been serious about. But in terms of fitness, it just starts from doing push-ups the night before bed. Maybe you watch Rocky and you just got inspired to get super muscular, but doing push-ups in grade 5 or 6 maybe, my brother, who's a few years older than me, bought P90X. So, I was doing those disc DVDs workouts, and I just kind of fell in love with the process of, oh, this hurts, this is challenging. Like, I don't really want to do this because it takes pain to improve, but I can see the results coming. I know what's on the other side, so I'm going to keep doing it. And, push ups, doing those disc workouts. I, a couple years after I bought that other one called Insanity Asylum, which I don't know if you've seen
Man,
the infomercials
those
for that.
those infomercials are dangerous, man.
Yeah,
Got you buying stuff
it
you
was
don't need.
it was always on TV back when I was growing up. I'm like, oh, I need this. I'm gonna look like him. But yeah, that's where it starts. And then from there, transition more into weightlifting. A couple years after that, from working out in my basement, just doing the basics: push-ups, weighted push-ups, pull-ups. And then Good Life has this thing. I don't know if they still do, but it was called Team Fitness, where in the summer, if you're 13 to 17 years old, you could work out for free from 8 to 4 p.m., I believe. And I started going there, going into grade 8 or high school. And that is where kind of the next step of my fitness journey began because I started, lifting more, taking care of, lifting more for one, learning, reading the machine, seeing the exercises. Went on bodybuilding.com a lot to learn about different exercises. I downloaded a lot of apps on my phone where you could click the muscles and it would show you different exercises to work it. So, I learned different terms like bicep femoris, like in your hamstring, just random things like that to help learn in the process. And it wasn't until so I was learning things here and there, push-ups, discs, team fitness, websites, but until probably around grade 12, when I started training with my guy, Coach Cannon, where everything kind of fell into place. He played in the NFL, had a great system. He still trains lots of kids out of Mississauga. And that's when everything started making sense. I learned more about how to incorporate weightlifting, speed training, agility, everything that you need as an athlete into one program, and how to do it all in the right way to make sure you're spending the right amount of time on each to develop as an athlete, football player, or defensive back. So throughout the years, it's been a long journey, and it's one that I would like to think never ends. Always trying to get better, learn new things. But until grade 12, that's when it all kind of fell into place into my mind. And again, it's just still always learning more from coming to Queens. We have great trainers here as well. Just learning more. I talk to Coach Colin and Coach Ev all the time after lifts, just learning about different types of programming, types of techniques, things like contrast training, just the science behind it all, because that's what they've studied and they know a lot about the textbooks and studies, things behind that. So it's a journey that never ends. Just always trying to soak up as much information as possible. But that's the fun in it. That it's nothing's ever perfect, but with the help of different people or technologies, like what I've said with researching, just always trying to learn more and take the next steps. Which all of that combined is another reason for Pick Six Athletics, just so I could share what I've learned and help speed up that whole period for those who are younger or earlier along in their development than I am.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. This guy, ladies and gentlemen, he's a, what did you say? Something for Morris? I'm not a science
I
major by
just,
any means, but
I'd always be, I'd just have stupid jokes with my brother, like, yo, you want to hit our biceps? And then just, I'd be talking about the one in the hamstring, like,
the
it's just
business
boring.
majors are evolving, ladies and gentlemen. But no, we love to hear. We love what you're doing with Pick Six Athletics, and passing your knowledge on to the youth of today, and helping them out in their own development, which is great. And I know you talked a lot about your athletics and your fitness journey, which is amazing. Because you're really dedicated to your craft, which I really do admire. But what do you do for fun, man?
For fun. Haha. I get that question a lot. I really enjoy what I do. So if it's like during the season, not really anything extra. But if it's just watching film or practice after, I enjoy that. If it's getting some extra workouts in, like I literally enjoy the process, which is why I'm able to just keep doing stuff and keep getting better. But aside from that, if it had nothing to do with like football or school or pick six at all for fun, just I like talking to people, hanging out with my friends. I'll call my friends from back home, just have good conversations, learning what's going on in their life, and seeing what they're doing, how they're progressing, and keep motivating myself to getting better. Aside from that, yeah, that's what I agree.
No Apex, no Netflix, nothing.
Oh, see, video games are fun. I used to play a lot back in the day, like grade 5 to grade 9, pretty much playing, Call of Duty and GTA. But stop playing those because it's I feel like it's a lot of fun, but in the grand scheme of things, like it doesn't help me get to where I want to go. A show I watched a lot was The Walking Dead. So if you're looking for something like that, so that just the 11th season just ended. We maybe we'll put on like Family Guy or something, just have a good laugh, just chill out. I live in a house with 7 guys who all, well, I guess now they're all graduated, but used to play football. So this has been a football house for the past 5, 6 years here. So there's lots of fun people around, lots of fun opportunities, and I'm at Queen's University, where if you take a walk down campus, there's plenty of fun. I try to stay focused on, the goals I have, and did like more partying, all that stuff in first and second year. But yeah, everybody needs outlets, whether it's as a reward or just a break for work. So whoever's watching, find yours. If it's scrolling on social media for a while or playing a video game, I'd just say set a limit on that so you don't spend all day doing it. But yeah, it's important to find fun. I'm just lucky enough that the things I do the most of, I find the most fun.
Love it. Love what you do, and it'll never feel like work. There you go.
There we go.
Um, but I guess that's really all I had for you. Is there anything else you wanted to let the viewers know, Eric? A little bit more about you, about Pick Six, about the CFL for our American viewers.
Yeah, so we got 3 downs instead of four. Fields are a lot bigger, so you have to run more. And there's instead of hitting guys on punt, if they don't call a fair catch, you have to give a 5 yard halo, we call it. There's some silly rules, like if you kick the ball through the back of the end zone, it's 1 point. I think that I prefer American rules, but the fun of the Canadian game, it's
It just makes you more athletic, man. There
yeah,
you
there's a lot
go.
of running, and that's the one thing you have to do with Canadian football is be conditioned because we have 3 downs. So if you stop the offense for 2 plays, you might be on punt return. You have to run downfield 70 yards, and then maybe your offense scores. You're on kickoff, and there's definitely a lot of running in it. But yeah, a question I'd have for you would be, how has it been adjusting from playing football? I'm not sure when you started, but I know you played in Queens and in high school. So how's it been adjusting from that in terms of, you could say, on the mental side or fitness into more of a, I don't know, adult or professional life without football?
I think I'm not gonna lie to you. It was definitely tough. For I played football for a majority of my life, and when you give up something you love, although your body thanks you, um, although your body thanks you, it is definitely tough. But like to your point before, when you find something you love and something that you're passionate about, it never feels like work. So I still I'm very interested in my job and what I do,
Hmm.
and that's what makes it so fun. There, no 2 days look the same. There's always new things to learn, and I've got some great mentors here over at Train Fitness that are teaching me from the ground up. And don't get me wrong, I still stay active. I don't think that'll ever leave me, and that's why I think, especially this job, it's something that I can relate to and that I'm passionate about. So definitely tough. But as long as you've got a good support system and you find ways to, figure out what that looks like in a different light, the transition will be all right.
Hmm. Find something to apply all that passion and focus to, and distract yourself that you're not
Mm,
playing football anymore.
exactly. And you know what? You can still be a fan. Being a fan is arguably just as fun as being on the field and hitting people. And trust me, my shoulders, my neck, and every other part of my body definitely appreciate it. So
So, for those of you who don't know, because this is just a second episode, but Marquise was a hard hitting, he could do it all in terms of, catch the ball and things like that. But hard hitting was his bread and butter fullback who could make blocks, he'd be the wedge and kick off. It was pretty much just hard collisions all game long. So, I know his body's probably thanked him, but he actually won. I got this year, but he has the same thing, the most dedicated player a few years back. And, it's been great talking with you. I know you're a guy who's very dedicated, who, if you can take that from football, I'm sure that you've learned a lot of things throughout the sport that you could just transition into the workplace. So, yeah, it's great hearing how you have some mentors there who help coach you up and get you ready for what's next to come. In terms of the workouts, what's it been like? Because this is what I've wondered. I play football. We do, if it's practice or field work, I get a lot of calories burnt. I get a lot of running, change your direction stuff in. So what do the workouts look like switching from that to when you get freedom with it?
they uh they they definitely look a little bit different. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just trying to look good and feel even better, right? So a lot less dynamic workouts, things that some ego boosters, which are always some fun.
The arm
But I do like to find new ways to get my cardio, and so I find myself spinning a lot. I play a lot of basketball now. Even we'll get out there in the sunny months and play some tennis. So you get to try some new things when you get a little bit more free time. And it's been fun. I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten to interact with some friends that I haven't in a while, and they do look a little bit different, but I'm just still enjoying them just as much.
nice. We're gonna have to play tennis when we come back to town in the summer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Peace. No, I play once a year just with my dad. Probably not the best, but it'd be fun.
That'd be amazing. And anything else from you, Eric? Or
Um, let's see, I took some notes before this. Maybe I'm saying. I feel like we talked about pretty much whatever we wanted to. It's been great, learning about your job, learning about the app, and I think it's pretty awesome how it's able to track not only the reps but the exercises and just do so many amazing things. So it's awesome to see you, go from an amazing athlete to somebody who's working in an organization that has the same kind of goals that a team does. Always striving for the next step, not just being at a limit. So yeah, I think that's awesome, and all good from my end.
I appreciate it, Eric, and thank you so much for being our guest here on the Heavy Lifters podcast. I'm sure the listeners will enjoy this episode, and good luck to you and your many, many, many ventures. We'll talk soon.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.